Good morning, sir. We welcome you. May you kindly introduce yourself by telling us your name and which country you're from.
Good morning, church. My name is Ebo Salumu, and I'm originally from DRC Congo.
Sir, what is the testimony that you have for the good Lord Jesus Christ today?
I've come today to testify of my academic journey and how God saw me through. My testimony goes like this. It's a quite long testimony, but I'll try to shorten it and try to explain my whole journey. So it happened that I came here in South Africa. I was in grade 6. I came with the purpose of studying and to obtain better education. So upon arriving, I had about 4 months to learn English so that I can be able to start the next year at school. It took me about 3 months, but by the third month, I started speaking English already. So I successfully joined my primary school in grade 6. Upon joining my primary school in grade 6, I was struggling a little bit in terms of Afrikaans, understanding and reading. But then what happened one day is I was invited at an award ceremony that happened towards the end of the year of the school. So what I saw was top achievers getting certificates and awards for the hard work they did throughout the whole year. Ever since that time, I took a decision and I told myself, next year I'll be the one also receiving the award. By the grace of God, in grade 7, I was invited to receive 3 awards.
Let's clap for the living God. Make it louder for Jesus.
One was for mathematics, the other one was for natural science, and the last one was for EMS.
Clap for the living God. We all know what that subjects mean. Clap for the living God. Mathematics is not an easy thing. Clap for the living God.
On top of that, I received a scholarship to go study at one of the highest high school. But then, after conversing with my parents, they decided that I shouldn't go attend that school because of transport and stuff. So when grade 8 started, at the beginning of the year, I didn't have any school to go to. I initially applied to one of design school. It was a high school, but they mainly focused on design. And that high school was not accepting people who were staying in my area because I lived in a location back then in Delft. So my mom decided to take an address of a friend who stayed nearby our school. So when we used that address to apply, but then it happened that I was selected for the application and I was approved. But then I don't know what happened to my mom's friend. She didn't revert back to us to go and confirm the application. So since that time, I didn't have any school to go to. And after that, I was beginning to worry because I wanted to go where I received the scholarship, but then my parents did not allow me. So I was speaking to one of my neighbors, and then they jokingly told me to apply to one of a technical school which was in my location. That was the day before school started. So we went, I was thinking it's a joke, we went with all my results, and when we arrived there, they saw that my results were great. They took me in immediately, and the next day I started school. So when I started school, as we know, grade 8 comes with a lot of challenges, new things to all of the youth. So I was starting to get distracted. I was playing with friends, hanging out with wrong friends, and I wasn't studying and putting the hard work in my school. So at the end of the year, I passed, but then I wasn't awarded any certificate. And then the next year, grade 9, when we started, I discovered that one of my strengths was mathematics. I would do mathematics without even using a calculator, and it was effortless me to get the sums. So I started focusing on math, and then I recovered my position in class as the top achiever. After that, I remember the decision I took in grade 6 that if I make up my mind and work towards something, I'm going to achieve it. So I applied the same rule, I made up my mind, and then at the end of grade 9, I was back into academic awarding ceremony, and I received 4 diplomas. Since that time, there was never a year that I wasn't invited to receive an award, ever since grade 9 up until grade 12. And upon arriving in grade 10, that is when I had to select my subject. So what happened was, when I was in grade 9, I was hanging with friends that were in grade 12 already. So they had to stay after school for extra classes. And it happened that I was following them to where they were staying. When I followed them, they were staying for workshop subject. One of them was civil engineering, the other one was electrical engineering, and the third one was mechanical engineering. When I followed them, I began to develop an interest in mechanical engineering. So what happened was, every time they will have extra classes, after class, they will receive food from that teacher. And because of that food, that's why I kept on going there every Friday. So they made us clean the workshop, and then after the workshop, we'll be given food to eat. And from there, it became an habit, so I started doing that every time. And then because of that, when it came to grade 10, we're choosing subject, I didn't hesitate to choose mechanical because I knew I'll be getting food. So from there, I realized that mechanical was also becoming one of my strengths, because in grade 10, I got straight 7 from first term to fourth term. And then ever since grade 10 up until grade 12, ever since grade 10 up until grade 12, I was always first place in mechanical engineering. So from there, the journey continued, and then it happened that I met the guy who wrote our textbook, because in mechanical engineering, I got 100% when I was in grade 11. So that guy came because he wanted to test. He thought that it was impossible to get such result. So he came, he tested me on the theory part of the subject, and he tested me on the practical part of the subject. On the practical, he tried to trick me, but I noticed because I knew my work. So from there, he was shocked and he was happy. And then he linked me to one of the manager of a technical training company. It was Imperial Technical Training Academy. I went there to that place, I visited that place, and I was happy with what I saw, because learners were doing their apprenticeship, and then if you're doing the apprenticeship, that means you get paid for studying. So that was what I planned to do after grade 12. He told me, no problem, your results are good. When you pass matric, just bring your result, you will do a trade test, and if you pass, we'll put you in the academy. So after matric, I passed, but during my matric year, there was a lot of challenges that I faced. The first one was after the first term of matric, my physical science teacher decided to resign just like that. So the whole of term 2, I was left without a physical science teacher. And then as June exam was approaching, because I had big goals and ambition, I didn't want that to weigh me down. So I started troubling myself, beating myself up as to what can I do in order to solve this problem.